Gilg Jew, Gilg J as Gilg Nerach.
Claare na Gael, shen and enem Claare shows, bevaliam shoes altige. My name is Robert Catine Carswell, Robert de Carslach.
Have you ever had tell of old Bobby Bob?
And I'm here to bring you this programme, which is called Claare na Gael, in which you'll hear something of the English language, as ingenious nishu clash and riddenach sigilg, and in which too you'll hear something in the Manx Gaelic, Chenya na Mera, the mother tongue of Ellen Vanning, the Isle of Man. As Banach and Urish, well, David Robertson had been telling us of the work of Captain John Tubman of the nunnery in promoting new agricultural ideas by demonstrating the success of his methods on what had been a hitherto barren area on a hill near Douglas. However, now we venture further afield. Ten Olw Van Helsing reiche de redden Bart de Vlechen Bernus on Lucy Westenra, ach, te Gael Yindus, de ne Garlier ton. Ach, te Van Helsing shadow noch ne spotch ton, as de vele urri ve bayalach de, eer ons kiaull slongen jaume geurt dem wannel. We heard a song by Irish songwriter Thomas Peter Keenan last time. This is another said in Ireland to be by him, but another Irish emigre to the United States, Joseph Paul Skelly, published it, well, I would say probably before Keenan would have been old enough to have done so. Tashu geistjach, rish radio vanning, stasiun en asjun, viskull skeel jene, vaidulish Ellen Vanning.
I'm thinking tonight of the old rustic bridge that bends o'er the murmuring stream. It was there, Maggie dear, with our hearts full of cheer, we strayed 'neath the moon's gentle beam. Was there I first met you, the light in your eyes awoke in my heart a sweet thrill. Though now far away, still my thoughts fondly stray to the old rustic bridge by the mill. Beneath it a stream gently rippled, around it the birds loved to trill. Though now far away, still my thoughts fondly stray to the old rustic bridge by the mill. I keep in my memory our love of the past. With me it's as bright as of old. Far deep in my heart it was planted to last. In absence it never grows cold. I think of you, darling, when lonely at night, and when all is peaceful and still. My heart in a dream of delight to the old rustic bridge by the mill. Beneath it a stream gently rippled, around it the birds love to trill. Though now far away, still my thoughts fondly stray to the old rustic bridge by the mill.
Foster and Allen performing The Old Rustic Bridge by the Mill, which people in Castletown Roche in County Cork say was written by Thomas Peter Keenan about the bridge in his hometown and the town in which he's buried. However, another Irishman, Joseph Paul Skelly, copyrighted that song in the USA in 1881, when Skelly would have been 31, whereas Keenan would have only been 15 in 1881, so it seems likely that it's Skelly's song. Arising from David Robertson's return visit to the island in 1791, he outlines what he'll be covering in Chapter 6. Newtown, Ballasalla, the cotton works, the Deemster's Court, propensity of the Manx, trifling litigations. Having passed a few weeks at Douglas in visiting those scenes which had once been the witnesses of my earlier pleasures, I was induced by two of my friends to accompany them in an ambulatory excursion round the island. We set out from Douglas early in the morning. The weather was delightfully serene. As we passed the nunnery, the sun in all his glory broke from the horizon. Nature seemed to rejoice at his return. The ocean imbibed his rosy beams, and the mountains of Mona flamed with his radiance. The neighbouring vales were in luxuriant blossom, and exhaled the fragrance of the morning, while the surrounding groves poured forth the melting melodies of rapture and love. Ta merem, machara John, dúirt Van Helsing, as neos cúnoliam de haige mache chamber leis a garliedem, ter jet ulju en red vai Harlem, bol te machara van de Pol, quer ludden se tai glonege carne bline. Bij arm cor chelgraf desen jay, nonne na bege der weon show. Heisjens jaag se chamber, a shingen cor lesh na blegen merin. Wat gentesen en allu quaachs on shigeres, as na rauwed regetten ons pharmacopoeia bi, Jason Giel mish. Hoyacht renne chonne na onjigen, as renne doen na sneggen de shiger. Esh looked de Gael glak de lane, renne rubber dolju herish na sashen, maar de bergage in uw shiger, de bergdag shade de hair at de kastens jack on, leid it les sore garlied. Esh, lesh en sap, renne rubber ulju herish essen na doris, skin, fo as eg dak chow, as me giet de chollig zijn onacht. We'll go back a few hours now. Cornish singer Brenda Wootton sings about Sunday morning.
Desolate and tea and granny, gall or day, the nam again, great the sass a stout hina, Tom hack loves rebo the Newnan, Pell is in a Isabel, Peldres well is a divin, Tia Garaf, Tian Guedia solo. fina, och nej, nej, and bones wind in me a vir. Tian guedia solo mi.
Brenda Wootton with, I think, Robert Bartlett on guitar there, and that was a song by Richard Gendel, Des Sul Vytyn, Sunday Morning, which Brenda later recorded on her album Leoness. Veel je Jane de vei fiechwech daw, as na shine doort me. Wel, allo, ta fissem de vel riw ored son de vis jinted, ach son shigerus, ta shore cor me foot de chilje. Smaya na vel fair aurasach sho, nonna yarach eshen, der I was jinu pisha genyach, de rail mui drach spirit. Fuddy, de vel me, doort an allu. De cune, chaus gawe toich de jinu was slongen, va Lucy a chau magit de wannel, va Lucy de chau magit de wannel. Eish fashin furachten, chaus va Lucy goenlach I heen sonne as trevi seljavi, henke as renne heen cor a slongen de gaal jeed magit de wannel. Na vogelen jerinach doorte rivod, gau kerel na velu cor jide, as me wissen schemer genachten brinach, na gin fosle onjugnen dorst nach. Tammy cor gelden, door Lucy, as gurre maeg na nistu, tau zijn keert, son uljuden gingelus tau. O, crater ve jintem, de vel me banich, lesh lidna kurgen. The next object which engaged our attention, says Robertson, was a bevy of country lasses, going at that early morning to Douglas Market. They were seated on small horses with panniers, one side of which were filled with the produce of their little farms, and the other generally balanced with pebbles. The rose of health was glowing on their cheek, and gladness smiled in every eye. Their deportment was modest and unaffected, and as they advanced, with an air of the sweetest simplicity, they wished us good morning. Happy souls, I exclaimed, unacquainted are ye with that courtlier polish which refines away every virtue. Your homely salutation is genuine politeness, for it's the offspring of truth and benevolence. Soon after parting with this rustic group of beauty and innocence, we came to Newtown, the residence of Sir Wadsworth Busk, Attorney General of the island. Now, originally from Leeds, Wadsworth Busk had been appointed Attorney General by the Crown in 1774. And this is the Rachel Hare Trio welcoming rather jauntily the Duke of Fife to Deeside. Siwr stasiwn yn asiwn radio fanim na sé Claare na Gael vis for Claare and Cartnish, Meron Peen, Robert Cutting Carswell, Robert a Carslach.
Did the other hear tell of old Bobby Bob?
There's a sad story associated with Wadsworth Busk and the Newtown estate. Wadsworth Busk and his wife Alice had arranged to rent Newtown from the merchant John Joseph Bacon. They'd been living in what were described as their cramped lodging at Snugborough. On Saturday the 8th of June 1776, Wadsworth and Alice Busk set out in a chaise to visit Newtown, into which they were intending to move the following Tuesday. Their Snugborough landlady gave them 2 chickens to take, and these were put under the supervision of a serving boy who was going with them. As usual, to lighten the load for the horse going up Richmond Hill, Wadsworth Busk got out to walk up the hill. But just at that time one of the chickens escaped, and the boy jumped down to try to recapture it. But the fuss, apparently, of this episode spooked the horse, and it bolted. And Alice Busk was thrown out of the chaise, and one of the wheels went over her back. She lost the use of her legs and died in great pain on what had been intended to be their moving-in day. That was the following Tuesday, the 11th of June. Gouds deg sin a tai sa charage de chwilach verfurchter on shen, Dort Van Helsing, noch fodmuch cadel on she, as tammy fame cadle, der is mishtroilt, Moorender vraliai en lei ederok, as mooren im ne en lair gain, as thee is mishmahai gin saviner be. Merach savora de morgen, tar mahan, as nimmage chit kujak la shilia nin inna woyach, huish de stroge son fishagem, visgintem, ho ho ho. Vejin chushiga, der mish as Cunyanem mer a shigar a sempin, der I ra shen as lesh an iris hoog je shen, gen nacht an atchem as aal nieuw bachtel. Slickly the rau ma noonid hog arm lees der ro shin shen de machara, ach jeni mia eerne smoo, gurish jair nieuw chilich. Cabdel nanjeg nish, Gilen Lucy Westenra, and na la jeg main fower. Cray gemai tad ul you dow, tammy bunus graiach a fairly Van Helsing shen. Now this is South Walian soprano Ellen Williams with the Sea Song.
While the salt within the sea, and life in me to bless me, while a heart within me beats, your love will show.
Ellen Williams from the south coast of Wales. She sings in Welsh as well. She was accompanied on Sea Song by David George Harrington on the piano. Tammy Gindis Cren Fair, ve choim neach mich on the blegen show. The jaro hug Gael or ve gear. As na jai shen ve cart ginauris son Tammy genach den gurjach vau hanna. Al zaag denjach, genel mi goil aal rosh wemel lummerken nog, as fodem golde gadle gin aal. Gejinnum goil taas de je bennel te be, chow moei jin onjeg. O, a streppe atjemach ter VM, nai kadle gemennig erich. A pian je njau gadle, yes, lesh lidne greinen gin enne, as ton shen ma hon. Kreeg op bannet de chartans de lai, gin aal se veok, gin grain. Ernen son de savine, na vanach vis chit out dagi, as na vel corlesh veggach, dremel millish. Well, sure misht noch, as tres jails on cadle, as malai gurish a filius a chlai, lesh croon na vorgin, as ridden scale de vorgin. Gemailiam riw garlied rai. Ach, noch sé taatnisach Ta she ons een sorege. Ta mi gennachten sa vien chit orm hanna. Vai de chulje vech. Wadsworth Busk was greatly affected by the death of his wife Alice. He talks of his nerves being so shattered that he can hardly hold a pen. But in a later letter to a friend he writes, "Never did I know the true value of the treasure that is gone, till I lost it." However, he subsequently did move into Newtown, and David Robertson writes, "The house is elegant, and Sir Wadsworth's fine taste endeavoured to embellish some of the neighbouring fields, but the sterility of the soil in a great measure has frustrated every attempt. Yet in this retirement Sir Wadsworth devotes himself to the pursuits of literature and the enjoyment of domestic virtues. At a little distance from Newtown, on the top of a mountain, Sir Wadsworth erected a pillar inscribed to the Queen in commemoration of His Majesty's recovery in 1789, which has little to recommend it to a traveller's attention except the loyalty it expresses. To the fishermen on this side of the island, it, however, proves from its elevation an excellent sea mark. Well, let's go to the mountain to lift the peat and to see will Brown Betty come home during the night. This is Brian MacStow.
Velus tai peridon cretau shul, manach veloan simmer glas liadach habarul. Hemmach roin gus a clud a chrogala voin, as the yechen jig peridon tai erni. You will me carachan at you will me schnell, ach verberi kula daras as lek a kiaull. Hemmach roin gus a clud a chrogala voin, as the yechen jig peridon tai erni. You will me carachan at you will me slubeg, ach verberi kula daras as shiger as Craig. Hemmach roin gus a clud a chrogala voin, as the yechen jig peridon tai erni. You will me ben a fat as you will me sluauer, ach verberi kula daras a carcala store. Hemmach roin gus a clud a chrogala voin, as the yechen jig peridon tai erni. Verbritchen as jerkenek as onsre bravui, verbritchen as jerkenek our shul na he. Hemmach roin gus a clud a chrogala voin, as the yechen jig peridon tai erni. Verbritchen as jerkenek as onsre brow glass, verbritchen as jerkenek kaura golmach. Hemmach roin gus a clud a chrogala voin, as the yechen jig peridon tai erni. Treven slai ons y tai ec na'n gener, Fysgel bwy ons y gliawn rai leis y tje. Hem much roin gys y clwyd o'ch ragel y foen, As the yeek yn jig berit o'n tai yn ei. Nach mach yn ei des na mren pe, Hai cerw jay berit o'n hawdys rom se. Hem much roin gys y clwyd o'ch ragel y foen, As the yeek yn jig berit o'n tai yn ei. Hai eisiau cor gys y chrau a chwri faw ffawr, Hengi tai molach awr ys greim ec gor. Hem much roin gys y clwyd o'ch ragel y foen, As the yeek yn jig berit o'n tai ei.
Brian Maxtol with the song about Berry Dawn. It seems she was actually Margaret of Claare, but she was nicknamed Berry Dawn after the name of an ox that she stole and butchered and evidently distributed round the north. Wadsworth Busk was knighted in the same year, 1781, as George Moore, the merchant of Ballamore in Patrick. They joined forces to oppose the efforts of John Murray, the 4th Duke of Atholl, to persuade the British Crown that it had paid too little to his father, the 3rd Duke, for the regalities of the island in 1765, and therefore should now pay him more. Wadsworth Busk and George Moore painted them as the grasping Murrays. So when in 1793 John Murray the 4th Duke was appointed Governor-in-Chief of the island, Sir Wadsworth Busk left the island and went to London, where he did a lot of work for the Middle Temple. The Newtown estate was sold by John Joseph Bacon to Lord Henry Murray, the 4th Duke's brother, and the estate became known as Mount Murray. It's the area a little further southward which is now known as Newtown these days, so that would have been the farmland, presumably, where he tried to improve it, but not with much success, and is now called the Newtown area, Newtown Estate. As gan Melissa Tammy Gedden Rayrish and Dulyug Shen has signed out Liai Ridden. G. Len and Fairly Seward and Tras Le Jeg Main Fower. Haimig gus taich de Berkeley, as Huer me Van Helsing, san Arcadian Leden Erlu. Van carriage is a hon vai en taich furachten. Gauw en alle we foge, te de kinjach corleshnish. Liek de chuljurid we screwt schies de girach, Brenk Van Helsing as mich Hillingham eg haach a chlag. She mara eilen von. Besaisje Gael na grania as sledden urid de fauer, mache, a fauer mache, Jean de wij coolina over blein oil de tail doorgezag. Van a dulligen chindag as kachlein source de reich en eilen. A genelle dang al toiach de duzjem wijn a bilgen. Tra haisjen stjage on henksjen quail Lucy Westenra, as e chit mach as en chema vori. Vi riu giri de mache. Huggy banna kiaull orin as doorty. Bis you manner de glaasjen de wel Lucy na share. Ten een nien wien forst na kadla. Ich misjak ons de shamer, as honnig me ish. A gejak misjak on, al de gin in borre. Seo Gan, a lulling song, a Welsh lullaby, arranged by for the Philharmonia Orchestra by George Weldon.
Nation Station, Manx Radio.
Sé stasiwn yn asiwn to radio fanning as yn sio tasiw geistiach rys Claare na Gael. Mish Robert Cydyn Carwell, Robert a Carslach.
Have you heard tell of old Bobby Bob?
Ren yn alw munga, as fe gyn len fog oil. Ren e rwba cwjach e gherlaw, as dwrte. Aha, fa mi smonion dy raw mi e choren er y chwsh, te chit leis yn liesem. As de sen, dreg er ish. Ha naiden dat Gael ulju en valju dat hien allu, ta steed Lucy mara Jew ons pert, kunta Jim. Kreetau menel me wenser, Brian allu. Wel, va mi im neeg me gaan in een yin wien sen nie, as hij mi stiach ons een chemerek. Vi kadle de troom. Getroom, ne ren eer mis chit stiach aan, doest hij. Ach van schemer vie vloegit. Van moe ren jen een blegen grene raag sjen ol je me giert. As de jaru va dod en jou me giert em wannel. Va alem de bergen so troom, rauwer sonnen en yin wien, se steed en unek. Maar so gauw mi ad olje soel, as doschel mi purtje unjeg, de liege stiach bekken de oer. Biu boeiach gee, tammy shiger. After leaving Newtown, says David Robertson, we proceeded to Ballasalla, a neat village pleasantly situated about 2 miles from Castletown. Here is a cotton work belonging to Messrs de la Prime, which is conducted on the same principles with those in Lancashire and gives employment to many poor families in the neighbourhood. The raw cotton is imported from Liverpool and, when spun, is sent to Manchester. Well, Abraham de la Prime had been in business in England, but in 1779 had moved with his family to Ballasalla for, as he wrote in a petition to the Lieutenant Governor Alexander Shaw, the conveniency of water and the low price of labour. However, there had been a tightening up of existing regulations in 1791, and this required a duty to be paid on his cloth, his consignment that had been sent from the island, and it was held in the Liverpool Customs House awaiting payment of that duty. Well, at the same time, cloth and yarn spun from American cotton in Ireland was freely imported into Britain without payment of any duty. And Abraham de la Prime said that treating his product as a dutiable import would only lead to closure and job losses in the island. And, in fact, so it proved. Well, time for some rowing now with Antuach the axe. Exploring both the Gaelic and Norse heritage of Scotland, that's one-man band Jamie and Tuach Keddy. As I say, the name Tuach is Untai in Manx, the axe, because Jamie Keddy is also an axe-throwing champion. And there we heard the Gaelic song Imri Etrum Horo. At the time that David Robertson had seen Abraham de la Prime's cotton mill in Ballasalla in 1791, the difficulty with the import duty hadn't yet arisen, and David Robertson writes, "The vicinity of the island to these markets, that's Liverpool and Manchester, united with other circumstances which I shall afterwards mention, renders this country highly advantageous for the establishment of such works. Is it not then astonishing that this should be the only one in the island, when private interest so conspicuously unites with public good for establishing them in this country?" Well, the watermill on the Silverburn was a little downstream from Rushen Abbey. Well, despite the Lieutenant Governor Alexander Shaw making what representations he could, the matter couldn't be resolved and the mill subsequently closed in 1794. But, continues Robertson, the village of Ballasalla at present acquires a greater degree of importance from the residence of the Deemster, or chief judge of the island, than from the cotton works. Ranni gleisige roi gus a boudoir, bol vi de Cajun Gael and Gael the morge. Gouds vi lord, jich meer edin an olu, as honnig me de renne chin day de ve cholias lai. Henke leis frel smachers en hien, gouds van wenser wach kion fenish, noder au vissege en stedek, as kreeg op mitchurach ver grein erbij. De jaru, renne mungori, gouds, chumme en doris son, de golstjach onze schemer. Ach, an tullach vi aashilje, hiarne mi, dol tajimach as les njart, stjach se schemer vi, as renne duna en doris. Eish, son een hid heertse veem, honnik mi Van Helsing, courage mau. Grogge a lauwen skinnechion, ons soos de grach raias balu. As eish, renne boelje koejach ewadden, ons acht mi christjelach. Verjere, haie schies ons care, as lukt de kore lauwen roosje nedenegge, gauwe toyacht ko. Now Michau's mare and her little foal eat all the hay. Well, they'd be sorry for that, come the winter. So says Nolwenn Leroy.
C'est dans 4 ans je m'en irai, j'entends le loup et le renard chanter.
John Seward born in Finistère, Nolwenn-le-Roi, with not only Michau's mare and her foal, but a singing fox, as well as a wolf and a weasel in that song. Ve co leis sachen chirm, va jean de hit vai eer borre a chree. Eis, chrogesus a reichen rish, maar de berg e gino achen a cledden tunje. Ma ye, doort hij. Krijt tasjen an jinnu, krijt wij jint ege waag shaw, de welsjen getrom chont stjager. Wel kronne voos de maastein, kurrit schies vai sail pegenacht na shan lijn, de neiden de liedne ridden wij aan, as ons lieden acht. There were formerly 2 Deemsters, says Robertson, one for the northern and the other for the southern division of the island. But the present Deemster, Thomas Moore, Esquire, a man of considerable abilities and penetration, enjoys the honours and emoluments of both offices. Well, in fact, later on they changed back to having 2 Deemsters. So, anyway, we'll come back to Deemster Thomas Moore. As it happens, Abraham de la Prime's watermill had been built on Deemster Thomas Moore's estate. Well, Sinead Cartnish tashin Jitgus Jera Clairish. Chris Pearson, as we heard, will be here with the Sunday Chill Out from 7 to 9, and then at 9 it's Sundown with Judith Leigh. We close with the calm of a bright vision, Aisling Kiaull, a collaboration between Keith Donald on soprano sax with Moira Navranach on viola, with a string section arranged by her, and she's also playing piano and synthesizer. But now, until the next time, this is Robert Katin Carswell, Robert a Carslach.
Old Bobby Bob.
Wishing you a very good night, Eve I'm a Chrieriu, as Orsel ye, as my Yerian shared you will you.